24 minutes after the hour, America. It's Hugh Hewitt, my Senate Candidates Day. I want to go way up north, AM 1280, The Patriot, all to my listeners up in Duluth and all across the great Minnesota fold, to introduce them to Mike McFadden, who is running for United States Senate up there in the great state of Minnesota against Al Franken. Mike McFadden, welcome to the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Hugh, hello. It's great to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
It is terrific to have you. MikeMcFadden.com is your website. Mike, first time I have someone on the radio, even if it's from an old friend state like Minnesota, tell people about yourself and why you're in the hunt against Al Franken.
Well, Hugh, I'm running for the U.S. Senate because we can do better. I like to describe myself as just a dad from the suburbs. Mary Kay and I have been married 22 years. We have 6 wonderful children, Hugh, 5 boys, and my daughter Molly, who I like to describe as a rose surrounded by thorns. And Hugh, we were just concerned about the lack of leadership in our state and in our country. I disagree with Senator Franken's game plan. He doesn't know how to grow the economy. He's the 60th vote for Obamacare, which is extremely unpopular here in Minnesota. And he's on the education committee in Washington. And he believes that the federal government should control our education, and it's just wrong. So I jumped into the race last summer, and we're making great progress, and we're going to win.
Now, he's got a lot of money. Al Franken, believe it or not, raises money from all across the United States, from hard left people who he hadn't done much, actually, except cast the deciding vote for Obamacare. He kept a low profile because he knows that he's so controversial and white hot. But how do you battle that money wave from what they call the net roots of the left?
Well, we're raising our own money, and you know, as you know, Hugh, he gets all his money from Hollywood and the liberal elite. And the only network in the world that can compete with him is our network. It's your great listeners, it's business people, it's professionals, it's good conservatives that care. And my message around getting this economy growing, getting rid of Obamacare and fixing it, and education has really resonated. And we've been able to raise almost $3 million. So we're making great progress. We've proven that we can put together a first-rate campaign to beat Al Franken.
Now, I've always found it interesting. Minnesota nice is what we Flatlanders think of your great cold state. And politics is practiced differently up there. You don't go at each other hammer and tong until the very, very, very end. So how do you kind of get traction against Al Franken right up into the fair in 2016 when it really starts to, the shootout begins?
Well, yeah, the shootout will begin, but I'll tell you right now, he's falling like a rock. His polling numbers have fallen. He's at a 46% approval rating. And Hugh, we just got new polling yesterday here in Minnesota. The president, his approval rating has fallen to 36%, and we can do so much better. Senator Franken voted with the president 100% of the time last session. That's a huge issue.
Wow.
So he's falling, and we're making great progress, building momentum.
Now, you are a friend of this show. Vince Flynn was a good friend of the show. He was out here a lot in studio with me on whenever he had a book. Obviously, you share a lot in common coming from a big, rowdy family full of boys and having a big, rowdy family full of boys. I'm just curious if you're thinking of Vince as you make this race.
I am. I think about him every day, Hugh. He loved you, Hugh. He thought so highly of you. And Vince and I were roommates in college. He's one of my best friends. And I got to tell you, up until, 2 days before he passed, I would stop by his house at the end of each day because we live very close to each other. And I'd give him a download on my race. And Vince, he wasn't shy. He was full of opinions. He'd say, this is what you got to do, Mike, and this is what you got to do. And he said, you're perfect. And you know what? He knew exactly what was wrong with this country. And what he would say and what I say, Hugh, is the biggest issue in this country right now is we've created this professional class of politician, and it's killing us. It is killing us. And frankly, Republicans are as bad as Democrats. We need people that have real life experience that are going to go to Washington and serve. Go there to do something, not to be something.
Yep. Amen to that. And MikeMcFadden.com is where people can go and sign up. You're listening on AM 1280 The Patriot. You're listening up in Duluth or anywhere in Minnesota. Go and volunteer no matter where you are in the country. We can beat Al Franken. $10 for Mike. Make it 20. Make it 25. Do it in honor of the late Vince Flynn. Do it for whatever reason you want. But Mike McFadden can win. That's our sleeper race. And it's in Minnesota cold, and we're going to follow it close and have Mike back a lot. Mike, great to make your acquaintance on the air. Look forward to meeting you in person. MikeMcFadden.com, America. I'll be right back with David Drucker, the Washington Examiner, here on the Hugh Hewitt Show.